Then I was so weak. I couldn't work. My body is just there. So I was struggling. I wanted to move so I can find somewhere to rest my back because they asked me to live there.
She is one of the most influential TikTokers in Kenya. With over 149 followers on TikTok, Becky has managed to reach over 1 million people on the same platform via her engaging videos. However, behind her beautiful smile lies a heartbreaking story filled with sorrows. Raised and bred in Homa Bay County in Kenya, Becky narrates how she was forced to cater for her ailing mother at a tender age following the death of her father.
I was born in Suba. Suba is in Homa Bay County, and I was raised in different areas, different places like Migori County, KC, in different places. Yeah. My mom was a single woman that she was very new in the field of being a single mother. So life was not easy for her and dealing with the kids and all that stuff. So I wasn't getting everything I want. So I started taking care of myself at a very young age. When I was 7 years, I started taking care of mom and my other siblings.
As years went by, at the age of 7, Becky recounts on how her own blood brother, who she thought would be a father figure in her life following the death of their father, turned against her and took her innocence away. Becky says that her brother would wait when her mother left for work and immediately unleash his sexual lust on her without her consent.
My sex abuse started when I was 7 years old, and that was started with inside the house. Like, I have a stepbrother. We share the same dad but different mothers. He was older, like 24 and above. Because my mom was never there. She was there sometimes, but sometimes she wasn't. Most of the time she wake up very early in the morning, go to the market. So my brother did that until I turned 9 years old, over and over and over. Yeah.
His diabolic act continued for over 2 years, until when her cousins moved in with them in the same house.
The first time when you decided to do this, what was going through your mind?
And I was just emotional. I was just sad. The first time I couldn't work, the pain was there, but my mom asked me, I couldn't tell her because I was scared of being beaten when she was not around. So I went through all that pain alone. I just wanted to get out of that life one day. Yeah, but sex abuse never stopped. It never stopped. Then there is a day I feel like this is the day that things like this will never happen. When my cousins came over to live with us in the same village.
In a twist turn of events, the same cousins she thought would protect her against her diabolic brother also turned against her and joined forces with her sexually starved brother. The cousins would molest Becky in turns, and to add salt to the injury, insert sticks inside her cookie jar.
So we live in the same village, in the same home, same environment, same house. And there were two. Actually, there was the same age with my stepbrother. And they did me now worst because so he could put me on the floor and ask me to open my legs, and the other one would be watching through the window, and he put sticks on my private parts. And he beat me at the same time.
And those are your cousins doing that?
Yeah, those are my cousins. When I was now 10 years, yes. and then the other one will be laughing away at the window. So sex abuse stopped just for some time when we moved from there to another area.
Becky, who was afraid of telling her mother of her experience in the hands of the people she called relatives, kept all this by herself as she hoped for a better life one day. Having no stable source of income, Becky's mother opted to borrow money from her friends and neighbors to take care of her children. Her mother's debt piled up to an extent that she had no option but to flee from the village with fears of being victimized over the debts.
My mom, she went missing because I think she has debts, a lot of debts in that area. So she was feeling so bad, and the people kept pressuring her that they need money. According to me, that's how I thought it was. And then later she told me that was the reason though.
Having no place to go, Becky was forced to seek refuge from a well-wisher, a doctor by profession, who promised to take care of her while she was still in school.
I went to school. I had a desk mate. You know, when you are in primary school, you have your desk mates, right?
Yeah.
So I told her I was so worried I could not concentrate every time I'm asked out of school because we can't pay school fees and every other things in school. So I told her I'm going through this and that. Right now we are homeless. And then she said, oh, okay, you can come and stay with us, you know. And I'm like, if the person you're staying with agrees, she said, I'll go and talk to him. Then she went and the guy agreed, and he was a doctor.
For the first time, Becky felt a sigh of relief following the struggles she had underwent after the disappearance of her mother. No sooner had she thanked God for the Good Samaritan than the same well-wisher turned against her and also started molesting her on different occasions.
I told him, he asked me to come to the chemist later in the evening. Then I went. Then he gave me injection, sleeping injection. That's when the sex abuse started. He did it like 2 times.
So he injected you with sleeping pills?
Exactly.
So that you became unconscious and then he slept with you?
Then that's what happened.
When he gave you all these sleeping pills, how did you find out that he had slept with you?
Because the second day I found myself naked and he was so rude. He asked me to stand up, wear your clothes and go back to the house. Like, that is so rude. Like, it's like someone did you something wrong and you're trying to revenge to them. And he was still dressing up. So of course he did it. That's how I found it out. Then when I realized that, and I wanted to go to the police. That's what I wanted. But I came to realize I'm homeless and nobody is gonna stand for me. And this guy is a doctor. He can pay these people off. And there is nothing that is going to happen. And these people are not going to take action for anything, you know? So every time I told him, whatever you did to me, it's not good.
With fears of reporting the matter to the authorities, Becky opted to seek for refuge from her classmate who took her to their village. However, her classmate's brother also took advantage of the young Becky and molested her sexually.
People closed school and she was going back to her area, and I said, since you're leaving, I know I'm homeless, but I can't stay here anymore. Can I go with you? And then she said, why not? And then we went with her to her town. So when I went with my friend to her village, she started living with them as family. And she had the brothers older one, just like she said. And then she started telling people that I'm homeless. She started telling other villagers who I am, why I came to live with them. And then, so people knew that I have no options.
Becky recounted on how she planned to escape from her oppressors secretly at some point. Nevertheless, her friends ganged up against her together with her classmate and labeled her as a thief. As a result, Becky ended up being beaten badly by her classmate's brother.
I was fed up of being there and so much disrespect and all that. And then I took the bag that was there, and it was her brother's wife, their sister-in-law. Yeah, bag. I didn't know. I just packed my clothes, and then she saw me, and she started screaming that I'm a thief. Now I had experience of being beaten like that. Those people came, the villagers came, men of that area, and in Nyanda province, if you are a thief, nobody have mercy on you. They will beat you up to death. So those guys came, started hitting me. Those people beat me up. I couldn't feel pain anymore. Like, you know, when you get so much beating, the only reason we feel pain is because of the blood.
Yeah.
So I couldn't feel pain anymore because, let me say, my blood was stiff.
Sorry, Mom.
It wasn't moving.
Branded with wounds on her body achieved from the severe beating, Becky was once again rescued by another well-wisher who took her into her house and nursed her wounds, and once again her frazzled countenance changed to that of a beautiful princess.
I wasn't feeling pain anymore, and then the mother of that girl said, you will kill this girl, just let her go then. So they packed my clothes in a transparent polythene and asked me to leave. So she took me to her house. She treated me with so much love. She gave me first aid. She gave me food because I was so hungry. She cleaned me up. She was a second wife to her husband. That was a first wife, of course.
Branded with wounds on her body achieved from the severe beating, Becky was once again rescued by another well-wisher who took her into her house and nursed her wounds, and once again her frazzled countenance changed to that of a beautiful princess. Her well-wisher, who happened to be a mother of several young men, took care of her and embraced her as her own daughter. However, as months went on, the worst happened once again, and your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
And they both gave birth to boys. So she only had like one daughter. She was very young. So she took me in as her daughter. Then I stayed there with her. She told me, you can stay here with me until you hear about your mother. So when I went to this village, this home in particular, I didn't find the husband. I just found the first wife and the girl and the second wife and the children and their sons, you know. So I didn't know where the husband is, and I couldn't ask. So one day the husband came back. I didn't know that he works outside. So he came. When he came, he used to, so when I'm home with him, he will touch me, give all the time. And he was like, I want you to be my last wife. I want to build you a house there. I'm like, you are my grandfather. You're older. You're like my grandfather. How can I get married to someone like this, you know? So I never told him, but that's what was my heart saying. My heart was like that. And then he kept on touching me. He slept with me. I was sleeping in the kitchen, so he will come to the kitchen and do whatever he wants. You know, he is the owner of he is the controller in that home, right? So he can do whatever he wants. So his sons started doing the same thing. They'll come to the kitchen where I sleep. They sleep with me and go away. The other one comes, do the same, and they go away. And all of them, they didn't know that all of them are doing this to me.
What?
After several unprincipled ordeal in the hands of her Mephistophelians, Becky was once again reunited with her mother, and the two lived together as a family until one day when Becky noticed some changes in her body.
Then when I came back to mom, I started, I can't work too much, So I passed out one day, and then my mom took me to the hospital.
The beautiful lass started experiencing some body fatigue, and that's when her mother rushed her to the hospital for checkup. After thorough checkup, Becky was confirmed to be heavily pregnant, but her mother never broke the news to the young Becky.
And the doctor said that your daughter is pregnant, and my mom never told me that I was pregnant. She 16
years.
Yeah, 16 years. Yes. So when I got pregnant, and I came back to mom, and all these men that was having sex with me, they didn't know that they're doing this, and also I am pregnant. Me personally, I didn't know that I was pregnant. So I went through all those sex abuse with the baby in my womb.
Becky's naivety disturbed her mother to an extent that she got into an argument with her at some point. With fears of getting battered by her mother, Becky took off immediately and went and sought refuge from another well-wisher.
So I lived with her friends like a house girl.
As weeks went by, her alleged well-wisher turned against her and accused her of sleeping with her husband. And once again, the one Becky thought she would be a friend turned into an autocrat who landed on her with rage.
She was always home with me, and she accused me of sleeping with her husband. So she was like, no, just tell me, I won't hit you. Things like this happen. When someone is trying to get you to say something.
Like blackmail you, something
exactly.
Like that.
Yeah. Just tell me that there's nothing. And then she pushed me out, please tell me. I'm like, I can't say something I didn't do that I did. No, you did it. I'm like, okay. She pissed me off. So yeah, I did it. So she came with a rolling stick and hit my stomach for cooking chapati.
Yeah.
Long time ago, that was so heavy, right?
Yeah.
So that's what she used to hit me and hit my home here and kill the baby. I was 4 months pregnant when the baby was killed in my womb. I didn't even know that I was pregnant, but the body was just changing and people were like, you look different.
Becky's well-wisher landed on her with heavy blows to an extent that she became unconscious. Becky was later rescued by her teacher who used to teach her back in primary school. The teacher rushed her to the hospital and the doctors revealed that her unborn baby had died due to the injuries caused by her previous beating from the well-wishers.
So that hour, the pain started, I couldn't walk, everything. And then they rushed me to the chemistry there in the center. And then that doctor was so genius. He just like, this lady, I think she's pregnant. And the baby is dead. And then they ran some tests and that was the result. So when I stand up, I feel the pain. So the moment I stand up, have you ever held something like you're holding something like this and then when you stand, it fell down without your knowledge? That's how the baby fell down. I didn't push it. It just fell down like as in it was...
From your womb just...
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah.
Without me pushing, without no injection, without nothing. What hurt me the most, these doctors, they took the baby to the laboratory. Why? Why did the baby was a human being, and you can see that the way it was heated and
It's okay.
So they threw the baby away, and that has tortured me a lot So why they could have buried it or give it to us, you know? So I felt so bad about that one.
Taking a look at her sexual escapades, Becky adds that she has been molested by more than 10 men and her brother is one of them.
In the total rape, the guys that have slept with me and make me feel less of myself are 10 in total.